board is pretty simplistic, but when you look at it, you get an additional free card into your hand. You have Kyoto Waterfront with 4 counters, can search a Kaiju on your next turn. You have Gameciel the Sea Turtle Kaiju, which has 2 negates, and guess what? You legitimately only lost 2 cards from your card economy. Yes, so you just Skull Dread, you can pop off again. I think that sometimes when you play Crusadia, people get so blind inside of making a huge Guardragon board when the simplistic things work just as good. Crusadia is easily one of my most favorite strategies since Master Rule 4 was introduced to us a couple of years ago. Unfortunately, Crusadia is also the deck that I love to hype up the most because not only does it have an insanely good matchup against one of the best decks in Sky Strikers, it also can 2-card OTK and control the tempo of games. I really do love the artwork, the card effects, and everything about this deck, and I always strive to make it a better strategy than before. In this particular video, it's going to be no different, ladies and gentlemen. We step a little bit away from the Guardragon concept because there are so many disruptions in Yu-Gi-Oh! And we still focus on what Crusadia do best, OTKing the opponent and controlling the board. I'm TheCaliEffect, and if you guys want to see more videos like this, they're going to destroy that subscribe button. But more importantly, go hit that notification bell because, well, we just too strong. Also want to give a special thanks to every single one of my Patreons. Without you guys, videos like this would not be possible. And also a mad shout out to our newest Patreon, Pedro in Longoria. Longoria? I hope I said your name right. I'm pretty sure I butchered it. Welcome to the clan. Make sure you add yourself to that Discord as well as me so I can get you to the top dog so you can take advantage of all your rewards. Without further ado, I present to you a competitive Crusadia deck profile for the May 2019 format. With the new cards from the Dark Neostorm set, I think Crusadia could never fall below tier 2. You have a definite boss monster that can't be targeted as 3,000 attack and bounce cards when he leaves, and you also have another card that adds another layer of protection as well as being able to gain you advantage just for summoning said boss monster. The deck is really good, and the fun thing about it is that it is extremely cheap if you guys decide to go that route. Some of the more expensive options don't really eclipse more than $30 each, and you'd only need 1 copy of both of those cards, so the deck can be very inexpensive and still be a very viable deck. Starting off with the monsters, we run 3 copies of Crusadia Maximus, 3 copies of Crusadia Draco, 3 copies of Arborea, 3 copies of Leonis, and 3 copies of Reclusia. Now, it's pretty standard for every Crusadia build to run 3 of every one. I'm still waiting for that Dark Crusadia monster, which will, give us 18 copies of Crusadia cards, but allow me to go into a little bit of depth why you should run 3 of every single one. Reason being is not only do you want to see 2 copies of, 2 Crusadia cards of different names, that's the best way and the most effective way to pretty much ruin your opponent's day. Every single one of these Crusadia monsters actually has really good effects. The worst effects are Crusadia Maximus and Leonis, and they're your OTK cards. Making monsters double damage and giving you piercing damage is too strong. Your Reclusia allows you to destroy cards on your field. Arborea is not only a tuner, it's also protection if you guys decide to go that route, and Draco is the reason why so many players play Crusadia Guardragon, because it is a dragon monster that can summon itself, recur cards, and still allow you to pop off with your plays. Next, after that, we run 3 Kaijus, which I'm really hesitant on just running 3 Kaijus, but I run Doggerin, Thunder King, Lightning Strike, and Gameciel. Now, I would cut the Doggerin for the World Legacy World Crown for a couple of reasons. Crown actually gives you another negation. It's a monster that you can summon to your side of the field under a link arrow. It gives you just so many things to pop off, but Doggerin is a Raigeki, so it's like, I'm gonna leave it up to you guys to decide if you want to play that or not. Gameciel and Lightning Strike are shoo-ins. Those guys cannot leave the main deck. Gameciel is actually way better than the Argapane / summoning Hot Red Dragon or whatever you guys want to do. Like, just summon Gameciel to your side of the field. Not only can you not be Kaiju'd, but Gameciel can be just as many negates as you guys were trying to build with that huge Guardragon board. Lightning Strike Kaiju is a mandatory because it can make up to 3 attacks on its own and it can stop your opponent from responding to you. So these 2 guys are shoo-ins. This guy, you can kind of argue you can play the World Legacy World Crown instead, but I definitely think those guys are in. So we do play just a little bit of a Guardragon engine. I don't play the black and white dragons. You guys can play them if you wanted to. I play that one copy of Red Eyes Darkness Battle Dragon because it's literally the only thing I care about is making the Saryuja. If you can make the Saryuja and then special summon the Gameciel with your Kyoto Waterfront, then you pretty much have the exact same negations that you'll be able to pull off with the whole Guardragon engine that's really super susceptible to hand traps. But again, that's my opinion. You guys can play the Guardragon engine even in this build if you guys want to. You can take out these 3 copies of Effect Veilers that I'm running. This is the best hand trap in the game, but if you guys want to play cards like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, Ghost Ogre, or whatever, be my guest. I run the Effect Veiler because I want your monster to stay on the field so I can use it to OTK you, but Effect Veiler is the best card, not only because it can negate monster effects, it can set you up for some huge plays. That is it for the monsters, ladies and gentlemen. Again, I'm still looking at the World Legacy World Clown. I kind of want to play it. It makes me feel like a king because of the crown. Get it? Entrance to the rest of the Crusades, we run quite a bit of field spells, and that's what makes me so excited about this deck. 2 copies of Kyoto Waterfront. This could actually be a 3rd copy if you're feeling aggressive. 1 copy of Crusadia Revival. This is normally in every Crusadia build that plays Kaijus and wants to OTK. What we do is we go a little bit further. I play 1 copy of Black Garden. I side another copy of Black Garden because it has so many good uses. If my opponent is playing like Sky Striker, Mystic Mine, or Mystic Mine anything, I can Black Garden them and proceed to OTK them because now I don't have to worry about hand traps. The next best thing about Black Garden is that it's actually a really good combo card in its own. You can even take out the Dagoran for the Sticky String because it's a summonable card through Black Garden and still be able to pop off with your play. The last field spell that I do play is Mystic Mine, and this card is insane. Like, I have to give a shout out for Laurali Kana, I hope I said your name right, for mentioning this card because it is so good when you're going second and your opponent sets up a huge Thunder Dragon board and you activate Mystic Mine. So now they have to negate the Mystic Mine, which more often than not means you can freely pop off and OTK them. The next thing is if that they can't stop the Mystic Mine, you can completely turn off their board, and Crusadias really only need 2 monsters to OTK, so it's a really bad situation for the opponent. After that, we play 2 copies of Terraforming because I played 5 field spell cards and 3 of them with different names. And then the set rotation, which is really good against Mystic Mine Burn, as well as acts as another Terraforming that should never be dead. From there, we play the Reinforcement of the Army to search the Crusadia Arborea and the World Legacy Succession. These cards were late additions because Crusadia Crawler actually searches a World Legacy card, which is another reason why I wanted to run the Crown. Just run the Crown. It's like, it's good and it's bad at the same time. But Succession is an extender and Reinforcement of the Army is a searcher. 1 copy of Crusadia Power and Crusadia Testament. Both of these cards have their pluses, where Power is a forbidden lance and allows you protection. Crusadia Testament prevents your opponent from activating cards that would respond to your Crusadia. So I play 1 and 1 because sometimes you may need one as opposed to the other, and vice versa. The next thing about Testament is that drawing 3 to 4 cards off of destroying an opponent's monster by battle that's too strong. Next is 3 copies of Instant Fusion. This is a Thousand Eyes Restrict build. Since I did have the extra deck room by not playing the Guardragon Argapane and the Pisty and all that other stuff, I decided to go Instant Fusion because it gives you safer access to your combos while still being able to disrupt your opponent. 3 copies of Called by the Grave so you don't get hand trapped. And then to finish up the traps, we run 1 copy of Crusadia Crawler. This is actually the first time I've ever run Crusadia Crawler. I had to hit up Laurali just to make sure that I was like, am I doing something cool with this? Is this what you're supposed to do? And she's like, yeah. And then 1 copy of Crusadia Vanguard. This card is too strong. It allows you to pop off with combos. Of course, I'll show you guys in the combo tutorial. That is it for the main deck. For the extra deck, the 1 copy of Crusadia Knight, the Mech Knight Crusadia Afromax. This guy is OG, ladies and gentlemen. So first, he's like Sky Striker's worst nightmare. He can't be targeted. He's a lot of decks' worst nightmare. The second thing is that if he battles a special summon monster, he's basically going to win every single time. The last effect is that if he's sent to the graveyard, you can shuffle a card on your opponent's side of the field, so you get a little bit after him. You get a little bit of disruption on top of that. From there, my Link 3s, I run 1 copy of Triple Burst Dragon. I make this card right after the if the Guardragon play gets negated. My other Link 4 is actually Saryuja Skuldran. I don't know why I didn't have that right by it, but you make this if they negate your Pisty with like Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring, you're kind of locked into only summoning dragons still. So you make the Triple Burst Dragon and you can still pop off. And then the Saryuja Skuldran is a part of the jump combo. The other 3 I actually run 2 copies of Crusadia Mekhanite, or Crusadia Equimax. This card is insanely powerful. You make one to be able to negate your opponent, and then the second one to OTK. This deck is a Crusadia deck, a 2 with a heart, so it can actually do stuff like that. Next, 1 copy of Crusadia Spatha. The card is amazing. Pops off for your Guardragon play. Next is 2 copies of Regulex. One is to search your, like, let's say if you wanted to search your Crusadia Power, Vanguard, Crawler, whatever. And the second one is to search your Revival, so you can go for the OTK. 3 copies of Crusadia Magus. This card, you actually, I feel like you need 3 in this build, because a lot of times when you want to make Avramax in your first turn, if you get stopped, you have to use a Magus by, you know, using the Spatha and the Guardragon to make triple burst, and then summoning another Crusadia, make Magus, and then make Avramax, which leaves you with no other Crusadia Magus in your deck. So I played the 3rd copy, obviously, to pop off with the play. 1 Guardragon LP, I feel that's the only Guardragon monster you need, and then 1 Link Kribo to complement your Millennium and Thousand Eyes Restricts. And it also can put a, like, it's a great opener card because you make these first, then you make the Link Kribo, and then you can still pop off with your combo, depending on your hand. That's it for the main board and the extra deck. For the side deck, as you guys can see, I do play those additional copies of Blackguard and Mystic Mine, very dependent on what your opponent would play. And then the rest of the side deck is pretty standard. Of course, Artifact Lancia has to be in there, cards like Twin Twisters, because they help you against so many great matchups in the meta. But that's it for the main board, sideboard, and extra deck. Now, let me show you guys a couple of these combos. Okay, so our bread and butter combo has changed just a little bit. We do need Kyoto Waterfront. I feel like that's a good price to pay to, like, not have, obviously, if you get negated in either. Okay, so for our first combo, you're gonna need 2 Crusadia monsters with different names in the Kyoto Waterfront. I feel like this is an even stronger combo than the Argapane stuff and definitely requires a lot less resources. We're going to start off by activating the Kyoto Waterfront and then normal summoning one of our Crusadia monsters to our side of the field. Using the Crusadia monster for a link summon, we're going to special summon Crusadia Magus to our side of the field. Place a counter on Kyoto Waterfront. Because we have a link monster, we can go ahead and special summon our Crusadia Arborea to our side of the field, and then we can trigger the effect of our Crusadia Magus. Magus is going to allow us to add the Crusadia Draco, and now both of these monsters can be used for another link summon into your Link 2 monster, which just so happens to be Crusadia Spatha. Place another counter on your Kyoto Waterfront. Special summon Crusadia Draco to your side of the field under Spatha, and since you did summon Crusadia Draco, add the monster that you normal summoned initially from your graveyard back to your hand. Link off the Crusadia Draco into your Guardragon LP, place another counter on Kyoto Waterfront, and then use the effect of Crusadia Spatha to move your Guardragon LP to the right. Now, since 2 arrows do point to one another, you can use the effect of your Guardragon LP to special summon your Red Eyes Darkness Metal to your side of the field. Darkness Metal to special summon Crusadia Draco back to your side of the field, and now you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 to link summon again into your Saryuja Skull Dread. Saryuja Skull Dread is going to activate. You're going to be able to draw 4 cards and then set 3 cards to the bottom of your deck. Depending on your sequence, you can probably even extend more from there, but since we have 3 counters on our Kyoto Waterfront, we can go ahead and search Gameciel the Sea Turtle Kaiju using the effect of Saryuja Skull Dread, special summon that Gameciel to your side of the field, and guess what? Now you can't be Kaiju'd and you have multiple negates through Kyoto Waterfront. I mean, look, this board is pretty simplistic, but when you look at it, you get an additional free card into your hand. You have Kyoto Waterfront with 4 counters, can search a Kaiju on your next turn. You have Gameciel the Sea Turtle Kaiju, which has 2 negates, and guess what? You legitimately only lost 2 cards from your card economy. You have Saryuja Skull Dread, you can pop off again. I think that sometimes when you play Crusadia, people get so blind inside of making a huge Guardragon board when the simplistic things work just as good. The next combo requires any 2 Crusadia monsters, just straight up. It's a very solid going first turn play. I'm going to use Maximus and Arborea. I think that these are probably the 2 best cards to open with this play, or any play. Normal summon your Maximus and use your Maximus for a link summon right into your Crusadia Magus. Now special summon your Arborea under your Magus and use its effect to add Crusadia Draco. Magus plus Arborea to make your Crusadia Regulex, and then special summon your Draco right under Regulex. Regulex this time is going to add a Crusadia Crawler from your deck to your hand, and Draco is going to add the Crusadia monster that you first normal summoned. Using both Draco and Crusadia Regulex, you are going to link summon into your Crusadia Aquamex, and then you are going to set your Crusadia Crawler. I'm sorry, you search the crawler through the Regulex if I haven't said that. But you're gonna search the Crusadia Crawler. During your opponent's turn, you can activate the Crusadia Crawler, pointing it to an Aquamex. Aquamex contribute the crawler to negate, but even more importantly, you get a World Legacy Succession from your deck to your hand. This is how you get a 2-card combo that nets you 2 cards in your hand, a Crusadia Crawler that's pointing to an Aquamex that can get you a negate. If your opponent doesn't have anything to follow up with that after that negation, you can turn your Aquamax back into your Magus, and then you can pretty much pop off with the exact same combo and OTK your opponent from there. This deck is still too strong. The last combo I'm going to show you is the guaranteed OTK. Now, Crusadia has quite a few ways to OTK the opponent through Crusadia Revival, but this is going to be a guaranteed way. What you need is Crusadia Maximus in your hand, any additional extender like Instant Fusion. Heck, you can have Engage to a Sky Striker, Mobilized Hornet Drones, or Mecha Hornet Drones into a Kagari. It does not matter. And you're also going to need in your hand a Kaiju. In this particular situation, I'm just going to go ahead and get Instant Fusion. I'm going to show you guys the combo. It's obviously going to be a going second combo. Our opponent has to have a monster on the field. Tribute that monster to special summon the Thunder King Kaiju to where one of your link monsters will point to. Normal summon your Crusadia Maximus, and now use your Maximus for a link summon into your Crusadia Magus. From there, you're going to activate your Instant Fusion or whatever extender that you guys did have. In this particular situation, it's Instant Fusion for me, to spell summon Millenniumized Restrict to my side of the field. Triggering the effect of my Magus, I'm going to add the Crusadia Draco, and then I'm going to immediately use these 2 monsters for a link summon into my Crusadia Regulex. I'm going to special summon my Draco under Regulex, Chainlink 2 being the Draco, allowing me to add the Maximus from my graveyard to my hand, Chainlink 1 being the Regulex, allowing me to add the Revival. This is going to chain block Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. From that, I'm going to use both the Draco and the Regulex for my last link summon into my Crusadia Aquamax. I'm going to activate Crusadia Revival into my field spell, and then I'm going to special summon Crusadia Maximus to my side of the field where Aquamax points to. So here's the kicker. This card will gain 500 attack when you activate Revival to allow it to attack every single one of your opponent's monsters. So if they do have additional monsters to your side of the field, the Kaiju might not even be necessary. The Maximus is going to give it 1600 attack, and you activate its effect to inflict double damage. Double damage is going to be just enough for game. If I remember correctly, you're going to hit 8200 damage just off of using the Aquamax to attack into the Thunder King Lightning Strike Kaiju. This is literally the reason why you can activate Mystic Mine on your opponent, prevent them from hand trapping you until it's too late, and you can just go ahead and swing for game. The deck is too strong. Thank you guys so much for watching another segment of the Cali Effect. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and give it a like. And if you really did, consider joining our Patreon. We have some awesome rewards. Please like, comment, subscribe, but most of all, enjoy. I hope you guys are having a great day like I am.